We have all heard the usual advice about trauma recovery. Go to therapy, practice mindfulness, talk about your feelings. But here's the shocking truth. Traditional healing methods don't always work the way that you expect. Why? Because trauma changes your brain and your nervous system in ways that simple self-care can't always fix. Now, what if I told you that some of the things you're doing to heal might actually be keeping you stuck? Let's dive into the science behind trauma recovery and the stuff they don't tell you. And just for those of you who are new, my name is Evette Rose. A warm welcome. And also remember, guys, subscribe to my channel, stay up to date, and join me every Wednesday for our free master classes. And you can join us matmasterclass.com. Now, trauma, it gets stuck in your body. It's not just in your mind. And you can't think your way out of trauma. And I'm sure that you've probably learned that by now. So when we look at the neuroscience of it, trauma isn't just a memory. It's stored in the nervous system. And your brain's amygdala, our fear center, it stays overactive. I mean, it's going to keep you on high alert. In your prefrontal cortex, our logic center, it struggles to shut down unnecessary fear responses. And your body stays in fight and flight and freeze and fawn mode as well, long after the trauma is actually over. Now, why does this matter? You see, traditional talk therapy, it helps, but it doesn't discharge the stored trauma in the body. Now, what actually works? You see, you can combine talking therapy, for example, with movement-based healing, because trauma is stored in the muscles, right? In muscle tension. Like yoga, stretching, shaking, or even dancing can actually really help to release it. And breath work with exaggerated exhales also helps to calm down a person. Right? So focusing on long, slow exhales to calm the nervous system. Deep pressure stimulation also works. For example, like just hugging yourself tightly. Or you can use a weighted blanket. Or you can press your feet into the floor to, for example, regulate your nervous system. And if you're still feeling really, really stuck, it's not because you're trying too hard or not enough. It's because you need body-based healing and not just mental healing. Now, did you know that meditation can actually make trauma worse if it's done incorrectly? What a big statement. You see, meditation often is recommended for trauma recovery. I get it. It was recommended to me as well. But what they don't tell you is that for some people, it actually triggers more stress. Now, why is that? You see, meditation increases the activity in the default mode network called the DMN. That's the part of the brain that's responsible for self-reflection. Now, if you have trauma, too much introspection can actually cause emotional flooding. And this can bring up very painful memories faster than what your brain actually can process. Now, what not to do? You see, don't force yourself into stillness if it makes you feel worse. Avoid practices also that can make you feel very hyper aware of your bodily sensations, especially if you experience dissociation. Now, here's what to do instead. So try moving meditation, right? So walking while focusing on your breath. This works much better for people who have been through severe trauma, as an example. You can also use sound-based meditation. Humming or chanting, all this activates the vagus nerve and it starts to reduce anxiety as well. You can also engage in bilateral stimulation. For example, you can tap on your legs and your knees and alternate, right? So, and this is a really great way also just to catch your breath, quiet your mind. Now, meditation isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It just needs to be trauma informed because so many people are using it And so many people walk away from it saying, oh my God, that was the worst experience. And I'm saying this because that was the case for me. It was horrendous, the first experience that I had with meditation. I did it because I was feeling anxious, and I actually ended up in a full-blown hyperventilating panic attack. So, and I'm laughing now because it's funny, because now I can look back at it and appreciate what I've learned and where I'm at with my research and understanding this and my own healing journey as well. But God, at the time, I made such a negative with meditation. I felt like I was allergic to it. So keep in mind also, a lot of the reason why meditation and the type of meditation that you do needs to be actually carefully thought through is because, believe it or not, but this plays a role, trauma can be passed down through your DNA. We know that now. Trauma can be inherited through epigenetics, meaning you could be carrying emotional wounds from ancestors that you've never even met. And the science of it? You see, studies, for example, on the Holocaust survivors and children from that found much higher stress hormonal levels, even though they never directly experienced the trauma. And researchers also discovered that trauma can actually alter gene expression, making future generations much more prone to anxiety and emotional regulation as well. Now, why does this matter? You see, if you struggle with fear, emotional instability, or chronic stress and don't know why, it might not even be your trauma. Now, what do we do? You see, you can start to break the cycle with nervous system regulation. Your body can rewire itself through breath work, movement, and also deep connection practices. Even something as inner child work. Healing generational wounds actually start by validating and reparenting your emotions. And shadow work can also be a bit of a help. I mean, shadow work's not for everyone, so keep that in mind. So do your research properly. And another one also, for example, Metapsychology Coaching, which is a healing technique that I designed over many years. This is another technique that can help you to deeply unravel inherited trauma, inner child work, trauma that you experience in this life, trauma that you copied from other people, trauma transfer, and the list goes on. So the list and the wealth of information that's out there, it's endless. It's really truly just choosing what you feel works for you. Because healing yourself isn't just about you, it really truly is about breaking cycles for future generations. And remember, you can't think your way out of trauma, but you can absolutely rewire your brain, because even just positive thinking alone is not going to rewire a trauma affected brain, because neuroscience shows us repetition creates new neural pathways, but trauma also locks your brain into fear-based thinking loops. So you're always in survival mode. Your brain can access feelings of safety, joy, or connection, even if you want to. What you to do is to stop telling yourself to just let it go. Your brain doesn't work that way. Don't also rely only on affirmations. If your nervous system is dysregulated, your brain will reject it. Now, here is what to do. You can, for example, use micro shifts. So this is very small repeated changes like taking slow breaths before reacting. This can also help to rewire the brain faster than a big forced change. You can also visualize safety, not just success, but safety. Because your nervous system needs proof that it's safe before it can heal. Remember that. That's so important. And can reconnect also with the present. You see, trauma keeps you in the past. Actively engaging with your senses actually can bring your brain back to the present moment as well. And here's the key, here's a secret. You don't need more willpower. You need nervous system retraining methods to make healing effortless. Because trauma recovery is not about going back to who you were. Many people believe that healing from trauma means getting back to normal. Here's the truth. You will never be the same person that you were before your trauma. And that is not a bad thing. Why? Trauma breaks down old identities that sometimes can force deep transformation. Now, it can make you more emotionally intelligent, intuitive, and much more hyper self aware. And many trauma survivors develop post traumatic growth, leading to much greater purpose and resilience as well. And let me tell you, I don't say this very lightly, especially if you've experienced severe trauma. I'm not saying my trauma is more severe than someone else's and vice versa and so forth. But if you have read my autobiography, you'll understand what I say. I don't say it very lightly. And let me tell you, trauma changed me. And I hated the person that it changed me into. And what I hated about it is because I judged the character or the identity that I adapted to, which was still wounded. In this specific context, I'm referring to the person that you become when you start to heal. That new person, not the wounded part. Just to be very, very clear. Now, one way to help you to start to move forward is to stop chasing the old you. Instead, focus on who you are becoming. Reframe your trauma as a transformation, not just as a wound. It's a wound, but it's a transformative wound, or it's a wound and there's a transformation within that. Rephrase it in the way that really rings true to you. And find also meaning in your healing journey. I mean, this is how you turn your pain into power. Because trauma doesn't just take something away, it also gives you the chance to rebuild in a new way that you maybe never before ever would have considered. And so if you love trauma work, if like rebuilding, healing, then Trauma Decoded is going to be an excellent book for you. You can find it at evettebooks.com. So you see, you're not broken. You are rebuilding. And the biggest lie about trauma recovery is that healing means going back to who you were. But if healing means becoming someone even stronger, doesn't that sound like a better option? You see, that's again reframing it. Your brain can rewire itself. Your nervous system can feel safe again. Your life isn't over. It's just being restructured. So instead of asking, how do I get back to normal? Try asking, who am I becoming through this? So drop a comment below what part of this video challenged your perspective the most, and let's talk about it. And remember to subscribe, stay up to date. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. And until next time, be the light that you are. And remember, if you want to learn more about stored emotions in the body and how they can even be hiding behind ailments, tension, pain, negative thoughts, beliefs, any challenges that you're having in your body, there's going to be stored messages. So remember to go grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy. It's a big book of 722 medical ailments and then the emotions that are suppressed behind them as well. You'll be also finding powerful questions in this book that can really truly help you to get started on your healing journey. And you can find your copy at evettebooks.com.